My husband is getting drinks with a coworker, and I'm terrified. Post by Happy Little Eves. My husband, 35 male, and I, 34 female, have been together for 9 years, married for 5. He was showing me a video on his phone the other day, and a text came through from a female name that I didn't recognize. I asked who it was, and he said she's a colleague from a company that his company works closely with. He has text previews turned off, so I couldn't actually see what was said, but my suspicions were raised. I know it's wrong, but when he went to the shower that evening, I looked through his phone to see who this girl was and why she was texting him. I found out that they've been getting coffee and lunch during the workday, sometimes to talk about work, and sometimes not. Prior to last week, it was maybe once a month communications to plan these, but then she joined a board that he's on last week. So they had a board meeting and then seemed to go out as a group for drinks afterwards until about 11 PM. I did know that he was out with his colleagues during this time and wasn't concerned. What is concerning is that he texted her that night making sure she got home safe and telling her how much fun he had, but he had been hoping to have more opportunities to talk to her instead of everyone else. The next morning, he texted her good morning and asked her to drinks one-on-one next week. She agreed, and he said he couldn't wait. Of course, I looked her up, and she's a very beautiful woman, probably in her mid-20s. I asked again who she was and what the conversation was. He reiterated that she's just a colleague and is helping him get connected with exciting opportunities in her organization. I know he's been really focused on networking, and she has a lot of high-up community connections that it looks like she's introduced him to. He's also a really friendly guy who likes to be involved through board work and professional groups. I don't want to go scorched earth and accuse him of anything inappropriate, since my insecurity has been a major issue I've had to work through in the past. But I'm terrified he's going to cheat on me. Would this send off alarm bells for you? And how would you respond without accusing him and possibly ruining the marriage? Okay, so going out as a group for drinks is fine. Getting coffee and lunch during the workday is fine, although he probably should have told you. Telling her how much fun he had and that he'd been hoping to talk more with her instead of everyone else? Red flag. Texting her good morning? Red flag. Asking her to drinks one-on-one? Red flag. Ding ding ding, he just jumped right over that platonic line. This is super unprofessional behavior from a colleague. Someone in the comments made a great point. Would he text Bob, "Good morning, I had so much fun with you last night and wish I'd got to spend more time with you alone. Wanna go for drinks one-on-one?" Bob would probably think he wants something romantic, and he wouldn't be wrong. He straight up asked her on a date. What do you guys think she should do? Should she confess to snooping through his phone and then ask him about her? Or ask her husband questions she knows the answers to see if he lies? Or just sit on it and see if anything more happens? Let me know down in the comments. I just took a DNA test and it turns out I'm 100% not my dad's son. Post by OpenLightShe7587. For as long as I can remember, my parents' marriage has been happy and stable. They were high school sweethearts, and my dad proposed to her at their senior prom, or so they say. Nowadays, they're a stereotypical old couple, just as in love as the day they married. For Thanksgiving, one of my friends bought DNA kits for a whole friend group. He's super into genealogy and family trees, and I guess wanted to share his hobby. I just got my results back, and my biological father was found. Except, he's not the man I grew up calling my dad. He's some rando from New Jersey. He hasn't reached out to me, and I have no intention of reaching out to him. I have to admit, he does look like me, but he doesn't look anything like my sister at all. That means that either my sister is my dad's real daughter, or that my mum cheated multiple times. I do know that my dad's family has a history of fertility issues, and that his identical twin brother can't have kids at all. I don't want to blow up my parents' lives, and regardless of my DNA, my dad is still my dad. He raised me and loved me like his own, and that's all that matters to me. But there's a voice in the back of my mind telling me that my dad deserves to know that his wife cheated and that he raised another man's child. But then, will he ever look at me the same? What if he disowns me out of rage? And what about my mom? She lives off his pension and home business. But she's a cheater, so maybe I shouldn't consider her feelings? I don't know, I had to tell someone, so I figured Reddit would be a good place. I'm going to think about what I should do for a while before taking any drastic action. I have the power to destroy my parents' lives, and I don't take that lightly. For context, OP is a 27-year-old guy. Relevant comments. Board Panda says, kinda depends on the couple, age, religion, etc. Yeah, that's a good point. You literally have no idea what happened around your conception, unless they told you something. It's very possible something else happened other than cheating. Yeah, OP keeps saying she cheated with absolute certainty, but there's so many other situations that could have caused this. For example, perhaps they broke up, she got pregnant, then they got back together, and he knows you're not his, but chose to raise you as his own anyway. People often don't like to talk about or remember their relationships as anything other than fairy tale perfect. Or maybe due to his infertility issues, they used IVF and a sperm donor. Or maybe something horrific happened to your mother. Or maybe she really did cheat. Maybe talk to your mum first. I know you're angry right now, but cheating is only one of multiple reasons for this. Last question. Did your DNA come back 100% your mum as your mum? Cause that happened on Reddit before. A guy DNA tested his daughter and found out that she wasn't his and flipped on his wife. After tons of work in testing mum, they found out that their child had been switched in the hospital. OP. Her family's never done DNA testing, so I don't know. My parents have been honest with me about other embarrassing things, so I just can't see them keeping something like that from me. But I suppose it's possible. If it's the last one, they probably don't even know themselves. OP. I know people think I'm acting immature by jumping to cheating, but my gut is telling me that it can't be something as simple as a sperm donor or adoption. We're a family, we tell each other everything, me and my dad especially, and I just can't believe that they'd hide something as important as who gave me the blood in my veins. I don't know, I guess I won't know until I talk to my mum. Update. Alright, so first off, I just want to say, you were half right. Secondly, I want to explain more in depth why I didn't think it could be a sperm donor. My family, my dad especially, hold honesty as one of, if not the highest values. The angriest I've ever seen my dad was when I covered up a bad grade in high school. My point is that lying is considered the greatest sin in my dad's eyes. He always told me that a man is only as good as his word. The thought of my dad keeping something like that from me was nearly unthinkable. The reason I went straight to cheating, rather than something like SA, was that I don't look anything like my dad. And because of this, my cousins teased me my entire childhood. They called my mum a behind her back, and combined with my rocky relationship with my mum, this always made me suspect that my mum had cheated. So the kids essentially primed him to believe that she cheated, and the bullying made him resent her. I feel like OP should look into getting some kind of therapy or counselling for this resentment towards his mum, because it is absolutely not her fault, and it could definitely be impacting their relationship. The DNA test only confirmed my suspicions, which is why I was so adamant that that's what happened. Now, with a clearer head, I realised that those biases were affecting my judgment. Anyway, I called my mum the other day and explained about the DNA test. She chuckled, and instead of confessing to cheating like I thought she would, or using a sperm donor like you guys thought she would, she said to me, "I guess we couldn't keep this forever. Okay, I guess it's time you knew." And then proceeded to tell me this absolutely wild story. She told me what I'd already guessed about my dad's fertility, that he's completely unable to have biological children. Yeah, the twin brother being completely infertile is a bit of a giveaway. Apparently, my parents didn't have the cash for a sperm donor or adoption, but they wanted a kid more than anything else in the world. What they agreed to do was for my mum to drive to the next state over and have unprotected intercourse with men in hopes she'd get pregnant. What the f? Yeah, that was definitely not one of my suspicions. Luckily they didn't catch something, I guess. Apparently, she tried to choose guys who had similar features to my dad so that the extended family wouldn't get suspicious. Luckily for my parents, my sister came out looking like a clone of my mum. 3 years later, my parents did the same thing, and that's where I came from. I mean, kids don't always look exactly like their parents. I look nothing like either of mine, but I know I'm biologically theirs because I look similar to my sisters, and very similar to one of my nieces, who's from my dad's side. As I said before, I look nothing like my dad. I do have some features from my mother's side, but absolutely nothing from my dad's, other than the fact that I have lots of freckles, and so does my dad, and a few of his relatives. Turns out my biological father is also covered in freckles. I asked my mum if my sister knows, and she said that my sister doesn't know. My mum asked for help telling her because my sister's been hinting that she wants to do a DNA test before having kids, which she wants to have soon. I agreed. I'll be going over to my sister's place to talk to her soon, and the current plan is to have my parents on Zoom. I don't think I'll be updating again, so get your I told you so's out of the way now. So I guess the whole honesty is the highest value is just a load of bullcrap, eh? Hey, at least your father can never use that against you ever again. Oh, you lied about being busy that day? Well, you lied about being my dad. Not the most mature response, but Also, not that they should, because it'd be hella messed up if they did, but they could totally have sued for child support from your bio dads. Although, that would mean visitation, so maybe not. Neighbour's daughter texted my husband happy birthday, post by a throwaway. She's 19, and my husband's 37. I'm not sure what to think about this. Friday was my husband's birthday. He wakes up at 4 AM to get ready for work every morning. He left his phone on the nightstand when he went to shower. I heard his phone vibrate twice and saw a text from Caroline, who's our neighbour's daughter. I unlocked the phone and saw there was 3 messages from her in the thread. One said, "Night," and the other 2 were from this morning, "Happy birthday," and the kissing emoji. I'm not sure what to think about this. My husband hasn't given any signs that he's having an affair. I think that may have been your first sign. Caroline has babysat our kids a few times in the past, which is the reason for my husband having her number. His birthday went normal, and I didn't notice anything suspicious. My husband is an orthopedic surgeon and had surgery on Friday, which I was able to confirm. He came home, we celebrated his birthday as a family, were intimate as usual, and nothing was off. Yesterday I had a long shift, and my husband took the kids with him to his parents. Should I try and get more evidence before I confront him? Or should I do it sooner rather than later? Sounds like he deletes his messages right after getting them, and just hadn't seen the goodnight and 2 morning messages yet. I bet if you checked his phone when he gets home, those messages would mysteriously be missing too. If you're gonna look for evidence, I'd suggest checking to see if those messages you saw have indeed been deleted. It wouldn't prove the affair, but it will prove that he's definitely deleting her texts. The next step is to see if you can see his deleted messages. People in the comments are explaining how to access them. Make sure you save the evidence and quietly talk to a divorce lawyer. If he's gonna act sneaky, you should too. Get all your ducks in a line before he even knows you're suspicious and starts deleting the evidence. My boyfriend called me a whore for skydiving. Is it toxic or is it true? Post by NervousSpace5301. Basically, we broke up over the summer, and after a few weeks, I went skydiving to feel and know that I could do anything. He's 23 male, and I'm 21 female. In the relationship, he'd told me that he wasn't comfortable with me doing this because my butt would be pressed up against another man's genitals. I respected this because we were dating. After the summer and skydiving, we got back together. I told him I did this, and now I receive texts such as this. You then use this as an excuse to slut your body out like a whore, having a man rub his pants on you in the exact way that I described. You acknowledged, and I begged for you to not. And the horrible messages, him flirting with other girls, I did last year doesn't even come close to how you physically slutted your body out, me skydiving. Down in the comments, Independent Lack says, I'm a dude and I went parasailing in the same manner with a male instructor. Does this mean I'm gay? Then someone adds, apparently them's the rules. Damn, I'm always so amazed with the things people come up with to turn their cheating around on you. This one's actually a little impressive. Still doesn't beat the guy getting caught mid-act in her bed, then getting mad at her for not appreciating his thoughtful gift to help spice up their sex life. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.